Hi there, it's Cheryl Truesdale, and I am thrilled that you're here with me for this week's episode of Cheryl Shares TV, your station for inspiration. Now today I want to talk about something I think we all crave, more peace, am I right? In this chaotic world that we find ourselves living in, where things just seem to be going faster and faster and faster, it can almost seem impossible to find peace. Well, what if instead of finding peace, you actually created some peace yourself? Now, you have probably heard me talk about the fact that we are uniquely designed on purpose so that we can make a special contribution that only we can make into the world. Well, I can't think of a better contribution to make than by adding some more peace. So in today's episode, I'm going to show you how to bring more peace into the world. You may have more control over creating peace than you may think. And I also want to share something I like to remind myself of. Let there be peace, and let it begin with me. Okay, let's go get us some more peace. So there are lots of ways that we can find peace, as well as lots of ways that we can create peace. And a good way to create more peace is by pursuing harmony. Now, when I speak of harmony in this sense, I'm talking about the harmony that comes from being in agreement with each other. Now, one of the definitions that I saw for harmony in the dictionary was social agreement. When I saw this, the lights went on. It was like, yeah, I can see the power of harmony for producing peace. It's generally peaceful when we agree with each other, right? Well, the opposite is also true. No agreement or no harmony, no peace. Oh, it's easy to be in agreement with people who think like us and believe like us. But how do we accept and tolerate people who think differently? People who believe something entirely different than we believe? How do we have peace with people we really don't agree with? Well, let me lend some insight here that I think will answer these questions. And it all begins by getting clear on what we mean when we think about the idea of having unity. Now, I believe a large part of the problem in achieving the social agreement that brings the peace and harmony stems from a misunderstanding of how to be in unity with each other. Now, at first glance, unity can come across as being in agreement based on our sameness, and this is part of the problem. You see, if you think about it, it is impossible for us to be exactly the same as another person because we are all different, right? And unfortunately, the bigger the differences, the greater the lack of agreement or the lack of harmony. So obviously, sameness isn't a good description for unity. There must be a better way for us to understand unity. And as a matter of fact, there is. You see, while unity doesn't mean sameness, it does mean oneness. Let me say that again. While unity doesn't mean sameness, it does mean oneness. Peace, therefore, isn't unity and similarity. It's actually unity and diversity. We find peace through accepting and tolerating differences while choosing to find social agreement based on our mutual commonalities. Once you get this, the idea that unity is very consistent with variety, the opportunity to experience the unity that brings peace and harmony becomes readily apparent. Great news then. We don't have to look, walk, talk, or think exactly alike to be in union with each other. You know what? Here is a definition of peace that I think is going to make a whole lot of sense right now. Peace is the joining together again of that which has been separated or divided. Or another way to say this, peace is to be reconnected with. And here's why this is important. While we are all many different kinds of people, we are all the same human race. The human species is an organic whole that through the passing of time developed into many different kinds of varieties. And unfortunately, this brought all kinds of division. And for me, this translates into finding the social agreement that brings peace through reconnecting the division that's brought about by our differences. And we can do this by looking for commonality and agreement and harmony based on our humanness. We may be very different from each other, but we are all human. And you know what? Here are some words from a very wise woman that sum it up perfectly. If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. No, I'm not the wise woman. But thank you, Mother Teresa, for reminding us. And this leads me to the challenge that I want to leave you with today. It's something we can all do to bring more peace and harmony into the world. So I first heard these life-changing words in an interview being conducted with the governor of New Jersey, Christie. And here's what he said. It is hard to hate up close, meaning it is a lot harder to hate someone once you understand them. So with this idea in mind, a good way to begin practicing having unity with each other is to identify someone that you feel different from, whether they look different or act different or think different, however they're different from you. Now, find a way to spend some time with that person. And as you're learning about their life, about their story, see what begins happening inside of you. Who knows? In trying to understand one another, we may become friends. So there you have it, my idea for how to bring more peace and harmony into the world. Now I know it's a challenge for sure, but I have seen time and time again the power of the idea, unity and diversity, to bring about the social agreement that produces peace and harmony when we're willing to open our hearts and minds to connecting with people who are different from us. So if you're up for the challenge, I would love to hear about your results. So please let me know what happens by leaving a comment over at CherylTruesdale.com. So, do you feel inspired now? If so, would you like to inspire someone? Someone you know who could use a little love, hope, and inspiration to brighten their day. Got someone in mind? Then all you need to do to make a difference in their life right now is simply share this video with them. And I am honored that you joined me for this episode of Cheryl Shares TV. Now, to make sure that you get your dose of inspiration every Tuesday, just head on over to CherylTruesdale.com and sign up for email updates. That way, you'll never miss an episode. And remember, you are amazing. You do matter. And you most certainly do deserve to live a happy life that you love. And I'll see you next week, my friend. Bye.